Yeah, we were able to watch some video last night and today. They have very good guards like we do. The leading scorers, a really good three-point shooting team. Their face-up four-man Hauser shoots at 46%. I think they're 42 in league in three-point line. That's pretty good. So we have to guard the three-point line, obviously, and our guards have to play well. It should be a really good game because I think the strengths of both teams are similar.
Any update on Vince right now?
No update on Vince. He had a good day today, just with therapy and rehab, and we're optimistic he'll play on Friday, but it'll be probably a game time decision.
Can you sense that Drew is getting a little bit more?
Drew looked really good in practice today, so he's back. He'll be back. He'll be ready to go 100% on Friday.
Trey was talking, I think, last week about how you had a way, especially with this being a younger team, of letting guys kind of learn and make mistakes, giving them the room to sort of figure it out for themselves. I wonder if, that seems like a pretty nuanced thing as a coach. Like, is that something you had to learn kind of along the way as a coach, not to be maybe overbearing, but to give them the space to learn that stuff?
Well, I think throughout the coaching career, I've had a lot of great coaching staffs and a lot of really good players. And when you have good players that are young, you have to, our philosophy is to let them grow, and they will make mistakes. But going back to the Florida Gulf Coast days, when we went to the Sweet 16, we had a lot of freshmen and sophomores go in, and they made a lot of mistakes their first year. And the second year, they went to the Sweet 16 and played very confidently in March Madness. And you look back in our teams here at USC, especially this team, we had a lot of inexperience on the team, and they were able to grow quickly. You can't lose too many games while you're figuring it out, because then you won't be invited to March Madness. So we were very proud of our guys this year, like Trey White, because they have never been relied upon to play at this level and to be relied upon every game to help you win. And that's true for some of our sophomores and our freshmen. And so we're very happy with where we are as a team. We didn't play very well in Vegas last Thursday, but that was an anomaly because we have been playing great basketball. Won 5 out of 6 to close the season when we knew we had to win 5 out of 6 probably to get an invitation to the March Madness. So give our players a lot of credit for just growing together as individuals, but more importantly as a team.
Does that come naturally to you as a person to just sort of let their mistakes sort of roll off your shoulder? Is that something that you have to kind of tell yourself, like, I have to let them make those mistakes?
Well, I think our coaching staff, the assistant coaches, have a really good feel for player development and where our players need to be. And I have a great staff here, and so we spend a lot of time with their weaknesses, but also some of their strengths. Because as you're going in early in the season, as I said, you can't lose too many games waiting for young players to develop. And so some of the young guys played a little more than others and were a little more ready. But overall, our philosophy is, hey, we recruit these young men. They're talented. It's our job to make them better players, and that's a lot of on the court, a lot of video work, and then they have to have a passion and a heart for it, because it's hard to make someone great if they don't want to be great. And we've been very fortunate at USC over the last few years to have players that want to be great.
I'm sure it helps to have guys like Boogie and Drew to lean on in that situation. At the very beginning of the year, what was the message to them, just in general, and kind of helping those other guys find their potential?
Well, the message was our team will only be as good as Boogie and Drew take us. They were leading scorers. As I said, the two most talented offensive players will be your leading scorers. That's the way it is on every team. And there are two most talented offensive players, and there are leading scorers, but they do so much more than that. And so our message to Drew and Boogie was, Boogie, you have to learn how to lead a team as a true lead guard, a point guard. Sometimes you can't shoot the ball every time down the court. You have to know when to pass it, when to kick it, when to shoot it, when to drive it, and draw a foul, etc. And then Drew, you have to be a point guard as well. So even though you're 6'8", you have to make plays for your teammates because you have the ability to do that. And so everybody said, well, we need a true point guard. Well, our philosophy was we have Boogie and Drew, and they both need to be point guards. And Drew led us in assists, Boogie was second. Boogie led us in scoring, Drew was second. And Drew also led us in rebounding. So get back to your initial question, our team goes as Drew and Boogie go. And they've had terrific all-conference seasons. Obviously, they had some rough parts where they went in a little slump during the season, and our team didn't do as well. But they, if you look at the 31 games as a whole, be 22-9, tied for second. That means Drew and Boogie had great years.
Anything on the itinerary that's interesting this week? Will you go to a Cavs game, or will Evan Mobley talk to the team at all since you're so close to me? That plan?
Well, Cleveland is a few hours away. I have some family outside of Cleveland, and the Mobleys are there playing for the Cavaliers, and Eric's wife Nicole lives in Cleveland now, so we'll see a lot of familiar faces, but I'm not sure what their schedule is going to be. It'd be great to see them if they have an off day. We're not going to be able to go to Cleveland because it's too far away, but Columbus, I've heard, is a really nice place, and we're looking forward to going.
How has this team how have your expectations changed, I guess, over the course of the season? Or where have they surprised you, maybe, from what you saw at the beginning, knowing that you were going to have so much experience?
Well, after our home opener, we lost by 13. We were a little worried because we were not a very good team, and we played very poorly that game. We could have played anybody that night and lost. We just played very poorly, and we were a little nervous because we knew we had to rely on Drew and Boogie, and they both had off nights that night, and everybody else did too. And so I think the expectations were we had to coach this team to be a NCAA tournament team, and we demanded certain things defensively, and we led the league in defense again. 39, I think our field goal percent is 39%, top 10 in the country again. Our 2-point defense is top 5 in the country again, and we demanded that they match what the last 3 years here defensively has been at USC, and they did a great job. So that was the first thing we demanded, that you have to be a great defensive team. If you're going to miss shots at one end and turn the ball over, you better be a good defensive team, because on those off nights, you still have to win games, or at least have a chance to win games. There were many times this year where we did that. So that was the thing we demanded early on in the season, and they did a great job of learning our system and playing very hard.
Was there like a team meeting after that game where it was kind of like a come to Jesus
No, there was
moment?
no team meeting. There was coaches. The coaches were the ones talking. The players had nothing to say. You play like that, you have nothing to say. You're going to listen to us. And to their credit, after some of our losses this year, sometimes you learn more when you lose a game than you do when you win a game. And after we lost that first game, we won 14 in a row at home, and they certainly learned something from that opening night.
Like, you talk about your team's so young. How do you kind of dial back their adrenaline for this big March Madness? They've never done this before. It's been a dream of theirs. How do you help them dial it in?
Well, I think everybody's excited. Even the upperclassmen that have played in it before. It's the best time of year. It's the biggest stage. But they've been in a lot of big games, and the freshmen have never been there, so they have to learn quickly when they get in there. I'm sure their heart will be racing a little faster, and the adrenaline will be kicking in. But they just have to relax and play basketball. And I think once they get in the flow of the game, get a little sweat, they'll settle down and play well.